Sanje Chodon Zoji Jono La Shanjo Pada Dana Jobsum Che Dak Chushi Jebe Tonum Rola Penchero Sanje Rupur Sho Sanje Chodon Zoji Jono La Shanjo Pada Dana Jobsum Che Dak Chushi Jebe Tonum Rola Penchero Sanje Rupur Sho Sanje Chodon Sojin Chonam Lai Shanja Bada Dana Jasam Je Daku Chishe Jebe Sonam Ji Rola Penchara Sanje Raba Sho. Okay. Hi Mark, good evening. My neighbors come, my neighbor.
Hi Geshe, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I didn't see you. You need to update.
I'm in disguise.
You're in the sky. Okay, good. Enjoy the sky, okay?
Okay.
Good, yeah. Yeah, wonderful. We can see each other. Because when you see the people also, you have different feeling. Is it? Right now, although a lot of problems for all of the world, it's not us. People talk the other side, not talking the next to you. It's for everyone, right? Especially that you have the phone, then you just contact with the other side. You not reach the next to you people. This is also how to lose the people's the connection and the feeling. Okay. Okay, Mark. Now you can mute yourself. Okay. We hear your you mute. Otherwise, we hear your I think air condition or something. AC, very strong sound. It's good. Yeah. Good to Tom to come back to the home. I thought he will be like vacation back weeks. Yeah, therefore, like the phone, the internet, I think it's really take away people's connection for close connections. They can connection far away, but they're not connection next to you. That's a little dangerous. Because then when people lose the, I don't know.
Affection.
I think this really lost people for everywhere.
Good.
Good.
You lose the affection among the people, among the people.
저도 때 속도야. 나도 계셔셔서때 다 림볼라. 소소 나기 출로 맞도 나기 날 계셔 시험도 왔다 다들. 소소 나 간에 비밀 계셔라 빼뉴래도 강가 나기 구소소 점사가 나기 출로라 마시.
맞아 그거래.
나도 가가 나도 찾아대 찾아도. 미강가.
So most of us, we talk about other people, outside, other people outside of us. We don't talk much about ourselves or, within our family.
Family. 제가 근데 사실 가와는 다 대간다 단대 인터넷 당 폰데 있잖아요.
And that is, I think, because of the, this like the social media, like internet and so forth, that's causing it.
제가 줄라봐라 폰데 인터넷 있나 전화로 바꾸고 말했어.
So if you have phone and Wi-Fi or internet, then you don't need a friend.
제가 그때 빼면서 니가 참 버렸대. 때문에 먹어봐가지고 미다 미바르고 저와다 미다 미바르고 세상도 나눠서.
So I think this is very risky, dangerous. In the future, we will lose the affection among the people.
가나 단다 대 니가 막 수치파지 초고에서 말했대. 마치 초고에서 말했대. 니가 봐.
So most of the people don't, I think, recognize that. That they don't get that feeling or recognize, that there's such kind of risk like that.
제가 내 배나 제자는 배나 남이라고나 배나 미다 미바르 계자시 봐도 툭 아니 봐도 삼트 jelli쳤나 아니 되게 가래 간마다 파타 아니야 이거로 때다 연거다 다 잠잠도 주바 쇼거로 와.
So if you usually, if the families, like spouses, they meet together, they talk and share each other's feelings and talk in person to person, then you develop that affection, feeling stronger, become stronger. Yes, of course, sometimes we get into a fight, or maybe a lot of the time get into a fight, but still we get that closeness.
제가 때다 더블랑에 삼나타 마오바 니가 사주가 데려지고도 다 매다 미바르고 저와다 라노.
Well, this is the most dangerous or risky thing that may happen. That there will be kind of lost connection between people to people.
제가 때 인터넷다 폰들이나 제가 다도 따따다 다 로카시 로 숨주십주지가 신에 뒤에가던 통거랬더니 깨자서 내겠다.
And so then maybe people will see that problem in maybe 20, 30 years, and then they will start to complain about it.
제가 단단히 가서 참아대고 뭐다. 때려도 그냥 가서 인터넷으로 WhatsApp로 야만에 이메일로 다 야만 사진으로 다 되놓고 뒤져가 같아 줘놓도 로바 고음도.
So right now we spend a lot of time just surfing the web, right? And either on the Facebook or some kind of site on the internet, and so we spend all our time there. We don't need to have a friend, to communicate or to converse with.
제가 다트송 거네 마오바니가 제가 가서 미다 미바르는 제가 때나 미다 미바라 파 다른 거나 동반 통바이나 아니 믹스야 초트 되게도.
And so that's the the danger, of losing that connection, between people to people. And when you see the actual person and see their face, and you talk to them in their face, you get this different feeling of closeness with the person, right?
배나 단단 가서 던차리는 바지 태만이니 뭐 가서 맞이 통과를 배나 맹원이 차서 이런 뭐 지금 마트에 소화들 내면 주소 내게 돼.
And so like right now I'm seeing you every week, right? Twice every week, on even though on the Zoom, and it's like I don't get that feeling of losing connection. And do you get that feeling that, I'm like, I miss Geshe like that? Or you say, oh no, I see him all the time on the Zoom. I don't miss him.
제가 배나 자가로 내가도 다 나왔지 가로 나왔니세 거라. 들려나고 이름 보지 마도 소화들 내게도. 가나 가서 내리게
Like when I go to India and for like a month or two, and then I don't see you, for that length of time, in person or on the Zoom, then I get that feeling. I get that feeling of missing you.
제가 단단 가도 스파트 토 가디난 토데 깨 코데서 말라 되게 소화들 내면 주소 내게도. So
right now, I'm seeing you, right? I'm seeing you, and I'm talking to you, and therefore I don't get that feeling of missing. Do you get that feeling of missing?
제가 되면도 배나 전화도 배나 토래 당이 가서 배나 다 당아 자가로나 다 담추지도 저 두 말아. 계산 가서 나와 찍세 마투가다. 단 네가 가서 다 나와가 하려고 되나. 가서 대갑게 토하다 단다 칠 내면도.
So like when I go to India, for like a month, then I get that feeling of missing, right? But right now, we haven't been seeing each other for like over 5 months, but I don't get that feeling. Is that same with you guys?
제가 나도 미대 몇 파트 동반 통화 대표 야티 토이 짝도 와.
And so that, the giving that, seeing each other's face, gives us the feeling, that closeness.
제가 너도 배나 나도 배나 미국 많통 왔지 그 내가 이래도 제가 너도 배배 로소라 배나 아마도 부기 벌라는 제가 쉬울래 그래 가든나 배나 자샤 잔에 파지 자샤 파지 급주 고거대 부고다 아마니다 부고 로치 로니 로스마라 부고 아마님도 녀녀 버려 아마 샤 자자 버려 여러분.
Like in Tibet, mothers are very close with the children. They get a very close connection or feeling, with the children, because the mother spend all the time with the children. Then like, up to like 2-3 years old, their mother, the child is always sleeping with mother. They're touching body to body and sleeping together all the time. So they have this feeling of closeness with each other.
제가 데려오자마자 단단 가서 아메 원래 또 부고라 부고 같은 선배나 부고원에 그 세상도 내가면도 야 한게 다시 다 티네지 차나 잘 내가면도 몰라.
So mother, always have this feeling, a strong feeling, affectionate feeling towards the child, even the child grows bigger. But the child, when they become teenager, then they lose that feeling, the closeness, the feeling of closeness with the mother.
제가 강터를 안에 부고라 텐데기 지금 파마를 제가 쉬치 뭐 영화데 부고데 파마님도 가서 자토바네 되게 텐데 팽거 요사데.
And so however much, the child can, physically touch, with the mother, that much, stronger feeling of closeness, the child will have towards mother.
제대로는 알아서 누시 파데 동바 타리 보르다 가서 파 타리 보고 동바 타리는 계시잖아. 가장 알아서 빠르게 저와 그 타리 뭐 이렇게 동바다. 가진 냠도 요는 저거도 와.
So when we see each other's face like this, on the Zoom, even if it's on the Zoom, then we don't like kind of feel like we are very far away from each other. We feel like, oh, we are close to each other, seeing each other.
제대로 나도 파데 미 많다 왔지. 애네 암조 맞고 미 많다 이런 보잖아. 그 지금 밑에 전부 제대로 살고. 안에 지 가지 초와가 이래도 때내래서 제자 가지 간도 가로 주포 가능시켜서 보면 되지. 텐데지 제법만 보여 살다 돼.
So if you don't see the person in the face, or you don't hear them for a long time, then you kind of lose connection, with that person. So I think that's really, a strong point, of getting connected physically, like this, or seeing each other or hearing each other.
제가 다 바제 마오발 바제데 니가 탈탈하고 다 가서 미파도 통고요 말에 두고 말에 집배나 좀좀 파주 투제나 파트 잭스타샤 두고요 말와 제가 메데미 바로 제와데 파 가래 타리는 로산다데.
So this is really very risky thing in the future, that people may lose connection with each other, because you don't like want to see the person. You just, even if it's in the same house, and if the person is in the next room, instead of going to to the room and talking to the person, you just send a text to that person there. So that way like become very like far from each other.
제가 대가도 냠는 요거도 같아. 갈래지는 대용은 니가도 빼 니가도 다돼.
So this, many of us, we have experience of that, right? So that's really a danger, a risk, of losing this kind of connection, human connection.
나와치 다내 가르치는 줘. 다내 가르치 시급 제대로 가나 가더라. 아네 미데 마다 미가 바른 저와도 템보 영화라 다 가세지 파 자토도 자고도.
And so, why I'm talking about this is like, if you, in order to have that strong connection between the person, between people, person to person or people, I think should get in touch, as much as possible, physically getting in touch, as much as possible.
다 들리다 오지. 다 되지. 아니 다 들리는 거는 지나 땅도 좀 좋다 해로 왔어. 로만도 하고 그래.
And so actually, we are going to do the Tara Puja today, right? So we're going to recite some Tara prayers today.
아니 제가 땅 안아서 배나 지도 로마대 땅도 표제 나한테게 근데 표제 나한테게 출루 사마가 로마 만든 거다 로마 대화명이 지어요 말에.
So this is a very common common deity, of all the Tibetan Tibetan Buddhist tradition. So all the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, in every tradition of Tibetan Buddhism, revere or worship, to Tara and pray to Tara.
제가 아는 간도 배나 안에 좀매가 또 받았나. 대섬 사제 근지 틀레 마스. 대섬 제 사제 탐 주지 다 간지 틀레 라이 주수 샤와. 아니 주도 좀한테 차기요래서 나도 라기요와.
So the Tara, is the manifestation of all the Buddhas of three times. All the Buddhas of the past, present, and futures activity. So that she's the manifestation of the activity of all the Buddhas of the three times.
다 나중에 주도 좀 말아야 아니 다 텔라게 테일하게 나봤지. 아니 무조건하게 나봤지. 아니 돈까다 돈자니 남중 가서 용되게요와.
So there's the common one, there's a red Tara, the white Tara and the green Tara. That's the well-known or that we know of. Of course, there are many other aspects of the Tara that we're not very familiar with that, but mostly we're familiar with the green Tara, for the activity, the enlightened activities, and then and the white Tara for the long life.
다 나중에 가서 다 빠된 한번 세야다. 안에 한번 좀 세야다. 안에 도저히 남을 좀 하다. 안에 꾸르꾸르 세는데 저 참아다 같이 좀 하자래.
There are other, other aspects of the Tara, manifestation of Tara, like the Palden Lamo in the form of protector and Lujuma, and then also Najuma Vajragini, and many other, like Kurukulla. The Kurukulla deity is also one of the aspects of the Tara.
제자 안에 남주 배나 땅 안쪽에 배나 대사카로 나야. 샵템마 제대 드라마 쪽으로 드라마도 샤르니 보시에 샵템 라마라 시간도 그 말에.
So in the monastery, in like monasteries like Asera and so forth, we usually do Tara prayers, for a puja. Well, not like the praying, praying to have something accomplished or to remove some obstacles, like to have a successful business or anything like that. So we do the puja for that purpose, or for the accomplishment of anything, like the study, the practice, or business, any kind of accomplishment of any kind of activities. For that, we mostly pray to Tara, by reciting Tara prayers.
다 나중에 배나 드라마라야 라메글루다 아니 단다 자적을루 이용요래.
Then also, there's the Tara, for the different classes of Tantra, like the action Tantra, and for the Haisava Tantra.
제가 단당가서 알아서 따대가 로초대 로마스다 만이다 콜라메 차대요래.
So the Tara puja that we're doing, the Chittamani Tara, is called the Chittamani Tara. So that Tara actually is from the Haisava Tantra class.
제가 오늘 지나다 태다다만에 땡가도 와 마토나 인간도 때 제토 매우 선도 요되나 다데 이만이 아니 게나 뭐 가자 그뭐 삼마타네 인간도 다데 가와나 다데 요러스.
So of course, you can do it, out of strong faith. Out of strong faith, you can do it. But to actually to do that, to generalize yourself as the deity and to do that prayer, that puja, you need to have received, the Haisava Tantra initiation.
제가 이나 다 나눠도 봐나 다 너무 서버는 뭐 제가 기실라다 콘주고 간지 가자기 봐뭐 뭐탐네 다녀가서 와 요나메나 소이나 간에 땅쇼고 소샤야 되고 딘디고지로 와.
So this is the Tara puja, of the Chittamani Tara that was advised, to do by Lama Soparinpoche or by Geshe Sulga. So therefore, I think because of many special reasons, they advise that. So anybody, whether they have received the initiation or not, can do this puja.
제가 시단에 다고 대바야 보이나 같이 치는 적이 없다 가지고 남주 아니 마테바 말라 마이레세 아니 대바 명에 말라시아요 말들이 맞아 다고 대바야 보이나도 건 적이 없어.
But like I said before, if you have a strong faith, then that's okay. You don't need to have the initiation. You can do it. So usually, if the person doesn't have a faith or doesn't have a belief, then you should not talk to them about it. That's what it says in the teaching, right? Should not talk to the people who doesn't have faith in that. But if you have a faith, that's fine. You can do it.
제가 때 로조데 아니 멘더십이고 멘더십단 제베 아니 야나도 냠네 차데 이제 냠네 쳐야 돼.
And so it is called also the four mandala rites, four mandala rites, and it's a ritual, in combination, with the the 7 limb prayers and the mandala offering, in the 4 sets. So that's why it's called the four mandala rites.
이제 안에 다양한 텔레 예바치 그래. 안에 샤주가 안에 다다 메다쇼 조조 치타이로 텐데와 노다 시절 땅가면 도 대가도 고바칼 마체 됐다 그래. 대 안에 샤주샤 되게.
And then there's also another kind of Tara Puja that's related with the action tantra, in the action tantra class. More in the monasteries, we do mostly that. In the Sera monastery, we mostly do that.
네, 대 샤다 드라마 너야 많이 치파이 받지. 아니 메다지 피고 치파이 받지. 이나 텔라지 양 전체들에 뭐 보여로. 조피다들.
And so, of course, the most of the time, most of the things are all the same. Like praying reciting the 21 prayers of Tara, that's the same. Whether it's action tantra or high yoga tantra, the same. And offering 4 sets of 7 offerings, 7 prayers, and mandala offering is same. The only thing is, the self generation of the deity, and then the arrangements, of the offerings. That's the only difference, I think.
됐지. 아니 다 되게 돈쇼 때다나 아니 돈쇼 때 마타면 해라. 아니 다 샤도 좀도 고바도 사초에 말고 제주인자.
So for the action tantra, then you have to restrict yourself, from eating, you have to control the diet. You can't eat the black food, like the meat, egg, garlic, onion, and so forth.
제다당 어도다 남주이다 멜라당가 멜라데 있고 제지엔자 말라 주주 듬바당가나 다 주정아와 다 시방아와 갈라 간지 칼라사나 대문이 전에 다 샤메사고 그래.
And so when we do the medicine Buddha puja, which is the action tantra class, from the action tantra class, therefore when you do that puja, before doing that, if you're eating your dinner like 4 or 5 o'clock, let's say we do the puja at 7 o'clock, and if you eat dinner at around 4 or 5 o'clock, then you're supposed to eat a vegetarian dinner. Yeah, so I mean, to be strict, in order to be strict, it's good to know these things. But if you're not that strict, then that's okay. Again, faith.
제가 다 간다 안에 다 드라마데 빼 무슨 페이지 뭐 말해. 간다 드라마데 빼 페이지 뭐.
Anyway, so now the practice of the Tara, is very, very beneficial.
제가 배는 나라 그렇게 냠뇨 쳐봤나. 나 주주권에 바질로 고 제가도 왔네. 아메가 나 가섭전에. 근데 칸데 잡네. 다 주주 가능한 내도 가디나.
가섭
카리. 이게 도시 말아. 칸데 봤었네. 집사마 자도 태양주 가데 갈로. 대단자진에 가니 칼랍진에 랍조래.
So
대진에 배나 딱내 메세코나다 드라마 가디는 내도 제가 소소 냠노고 전에 단대 군에 드라마기처럼 소소들이 망보하러 좋냐.
So from my personal experience, I've been reciting, the Tara prayers, all my life, from childhood. Like my mother, used to teach me, make me repeat after her. So I learned verbally, by repeating after her. I didn't know how to read or write anything like that at that age, but she always she will say, and then I repeat after her. That way I learned from very young age. And then ever since then, I've been reciting this Tara prayer all the time. And every time, whatever I do, and I do whatever I do, and I pray to Tara, and then whatever success that I have from doing the things is all, I think, is through the blessings of the Tara.
배낭가 피게 땅아라 파이네 회사라 다 아니 다 주주요. 회사니 답 야를 용주로 봐. 마들로 팅에 다들이 개개요 말다. 거기 로마로 써와 답기 답글 놓고 따다다다 고래로 하시 모두.
So like I escaped from my home village, to Lhasa first. and then from Lhasa to all the way to India. So on all this way, there's nobody to guide me on the way, but I just pray to Tara. And then somehow I got to Lhasa, and then from Lhasa to India. So that I think is all through the blessings of the Tara.
제자 나랑 개개 배나 개우지 때들라지 배나 사람을 딱 개마들 넘어지요. 근데 콘자르도 가진 드라마톤 송거리 시 샤브테 샴바트 제 송거 말해.
And one of my root guru, Geshe also is a great teacher, one of the most well-known teacher in Sarah Monastery. Whenever we ask him for advice, and he will always say, just recite Tara prayers all the time.
제자 안에 어떻게 제자 안에 간들 드라마트 때 먼저 편했지 뭐 제자 다 가도 대가 없는 가도 뭐제 로마니 싸지게 된다잖아 고말 고블라블라 넣어야 고 대바 슈치보 여마다 땐데 편한 거에서 봐.
And of course, at that young age, when I'm reciting Tara prayers, and of course I didn't know the meaning of the Tara prayers at all, but just out of strong faith in the Tara, I repeat those words, and that really benefits. Like even again now, it's all depends on your faith, how strong faith you have in that deity.
제다나 지나서 배나 드라마 쇼나 아니 드라마 림보데 쫓나 약보요래. 아니 그래서 뭐든 아니 드라마 튼드데. 대마조나 아니 드라마 나한테 봐나 아니 페이지 뭐 배운 걸.
And so if you can recite the 21 praises to the Tara, that's best. And if not, then at least, or if not, then you can recite the 5-line Tara prayer, the short one, 5-line Tara prayer. And then even if that is not possible, then at least recite the Tara mantra.
제자 아니 나도 드라마 편이지 왔으면 오미 사모라게 양다 템베 로덴가 랍던셔데 서다 토라나오르시네. 템베미지 탐셔 랍도 해서지 와. 보다 되게 된다. 배다 드라마 편이 쏜 거라 거든 봐.
And so if you recite that Tara prayer, then that's the benefit, right? The benefit of reciting Tara prayer. That's in the Tara puja you might have seen, right? So if you recite the Tara prayers with a very strong respect to or respect or faith, with a strong faith or in respect to the goddess Tara, then like it says 2, 3, and 7 times like that. Then whatever you wish, all your wishes will be fulfilled. Those who wish to have a child will have a child, and so forth, right? So that benefit, is also mentioned there.
제가 안에 된지 안에 주소 드라마라야. 아니 님고 리비 때내야 대바요 봤지. 당한나 지가 로다 땜바 혈압 땜바 안에 샘 추마로 샘 드라마 뭐놈 제베클라 아니 오늘 전에 드라마 샘 때내 된지게 소바야 보다 봐야나. 아니 간제 대양 앞에나 단디 뭐놈도 소바나 쇼케 나오야라와 군다 쳐쳐봐 간제 니슴 던도 냠으로 주나 니세데 인생이라고 섬레와데 인서rel라 아니 뒤제 쇼케 닝고 군다 아는 센치 쇼케 나오서 아니 들레sem니 아니 들레칼라 던던 더바이나 아니 평에도 용거를 해서라고.
And so then it says like the 2, 3, and 7, right? So 2 is like the 2 night and day, and then 3 is a 3 session, morning, afternoon, and the evening, 3 session. And then during each session, you recite 7 times. So 3, the each session, you recite 3 times, 3 times like that. And so if you do that, then that even in that, with the full concentration, without distraction, right? With the strong faith, and with the concentration and the wisdom, right? And strong faith, in the Tara. If you do that, that you do that, that 2, 3, and 7 times, then whatever you wish, will be fulfilled.
제가 했던 것들은 당하 드라마 뭐뭐 되게다. 나 그때는 쟁에 발치치나 잠을 자자용도 챙겨 왔었거든.
And so we might think, I'm reciting these Tara prayers all the time, but I still get so much problems. So much
옛날에 나눠서 온건데 대바 이체시라 요 말이다. 자 진도에다가 그 이체 자는 자요 말을 간데라에 나왔으면 되는 거.
So that's because we are lacking, one of those, the things that I mentioned. Either we don't have a strong faith, or our mind is all distracted, or we don't have a good wisdom. So But if we don't reside with that, reside with those, then it will be, of course, there's a benefit, but it will be very small, very difficult to see the benefits.
당한테 로만 동이야 깔에 가게 샘까지 가는 충도요. 뭐지? 가제 어떻게지는 것도 다 배는 시험도 영어 통해 말아.
Yeah, so we reside, like we feel tired, and then our mind, goes somewhere else, get distracted. Then because of that, then we don't see that much of benefit, from residing.
어다 두 전에 강타를 안에 다 드라마도 빼 무슨 배해져 버다 이제 짜칭도는 이제 짜칭 뭐도나 드라마 튼도도 한데와 대마전 안에 드라마랑 건데 대화 찌게 돈에 안에 소소 나다 사와이나 안에 땡땡이 배해요다 돼.
And so definitely there's a great benefit in reciting the Tara prayers. So if possible, do the 21 prayers to Tara. If not, then the short, prayers to Tara, the 5-line one. And if not, then at the very least, recite the 10-syllable mantra, Om Tara Tuda Soha, with a strong faith and full concentration.
제가 받은 가도 배워도나 배워 가jelaya bena 드라마 나도 만한테 딱 보고 주저놓고 라마고 고 가지 빨아 아마 냠도 되면가 콘 참에 라시고 내시와로 그 차대요.
And so this in Tibetan tradition, in Tibetan culture, there's reciting the Om Mani Padme Hum and Om Tara Tuda Soha. It's a natural. Even the child, will know how to recite those. And that's a very like a natural.
제자네 가셔로 아니 가시다 배나 옴따리 두다리 들어서 이제 된다로 가 주어나다 시다 아니 나한테 된다데 옴세다 링아 요숨 성계로.
So Om Tara Tutara Turiso Om, is or A or Ma, right? So the 3 letters, so that symbolizes the 3 body, speech, and mind: holy body, holy speech, holy mind of the enlightened being, or the ordinary body, ordinary speech, and ordinary mind of the sentient being.
아니 딸이서 도막은 차례 도막이 미래다 가도잖아 도미 미.
And so Tare, is the name, of the Tara, the liberator, right? Tara.
아니 텔라 아니 뇽마다 palmo다 근데 더 배웠기는 미문 보여.
So there's similar to that. Like there's many other name, right? Like the swift, heroic, and so forth, right?
어데 제자 안에 옴따리 두다리서다 두다리 지지트스. 그나 셔다 두지트 반데 차 치드 바자 간제 대화 긴데 드랍고야 안에 드럼에게 배에서 그나 말 안에 레디마세 송을 되나라 배도 차상 요래.
And so then the Tutare, liberates one from the 8 fears. So there are like 8 fears they mention. The fear of like the anger, fear like anger. And so the fear of the snake, that symbolizes the anger, and then the fear of a lion that symbolizes the pride, and then there's a fear of attachment and so forth. So all these fears, one would be liberated or freed, from these fears.
제가 안에 강타를 안에 옴따리로 안에 두다리 가로 고알도 따레마 두다리 시죠. 들에 나왔는데 줬어. 들에서 돼 안에 아직 다 보이는데도 봐야 내염 매치는 명예 같은 내염들이요. 어떤서 가가시로 그랬어. 다나지 물음 봐. 고다 물음 신화타고 미대와다. 아니 니 막고 되는 데야 안에 평그래서 이러와.
And then Ture will liberate one or liberate or free one from all the diseases and all the sickness, like the pandemic, and all the the bad omens, the dreams. If you have difficulties sleeping, all these kind of things one will be liberated from all these kind of sicknesses.
어제는 안에 따랬더래. 다 수화 세대가 안에 된대게 전부다 나라에 때로치 해서 나라 나로치 해서 하고
And soha, is like sowing a seed, to have that kind of blessings.
어제 제가 던져 네 그러나 즉 대나도 고네 아니 즉 대나데 샘라 체지 아니 단다다 덤바이나다 텐데 셈 아주 야마도 덤바나다 텐데 배도 연구했다.
So if you recite the mantras and all the prayers, by remembering the meanings, and the benefits, and it becomes very beneficial.
오케이. 제자 남주 드라마도다 드레로 치도 전에 전에 드라마를 태웠지. 대화세 때 빼면서 고야 간지 니바 친구 쇼제사래.
And so normally, when you recite the Tara prayers, always recite, with a single-pointed faith, in the Tara. So if you have that strong faith, then that makes big difference.
맨날 미잖아도 좀 지셔. 맨날 내마다 대체나 뭐 고여져와. 아니가도 별이야. 아니 포지 가디나 하다 그러더라대. 아마도 가디나 볼아야. 또 조가 조가 아니 절로 키쇼라대. 아니 보디 따바 제로 들어와. 아니 니마지 로kal라 타처럼 단다 요니 말에 녀바 조처럼 키마나 아니 처럼 말에다 가 라시적이 있어. 아니 도슬랍도. 아니 야 보디 제도. 아니 제네 그게 소소 나한 토베 칼라야. 아니 신의 제도. 아 다때 막에 뺏어 아마 아니 가도 라시적을 납소서. 아니 거의 파트 중에 아니 그거라 쳐 최근에 신내지 아니 다 빠빠방가 시에 아니 리고치를 하되 되지 고지데 대 소치래 아니 대 고세지 걸게 아마 트레도 아니 니마치 아니 아마 그냥 주고셔도 다 아메 다 때문에 다 아니 좋은 보치게 전업해서 다 대라 대화 차사 아니 차사 초바 피 대화지는 되네 아니 되어서 니마치 아마도 그냥 본인 주고셔도 아니 아메 보스나 아마 좀 고파 치가 소라야 아니 사지가 리스를 대화지는 좋게 시기마 고바 고지 않아서 보디가 아마 랍도 아니 아메고네 가네나서 치지 따도 아니 단단히 매가 소들에 파파 시내도 그 주전되어서 제가 아메 대화디가 이제 오늘 전에 딱 치가 소로와 보다 되네 요거다 대화였나.
So there's a story, about the power of the faith, how things can be changed, through the power of faith. You might have heard this, this is a little different version, and you might have heard this already before, but this is a little different version. So this is in Tibet, where this old lady, who had a son who goes, to Lhasa, to do a trading, like for business, like trading. And every time he goes there, she will ask him, to bring some blessings, from the Cho temple. The Cho is like the Buddha Shakyamuni statue, in the Jokhang temple, and so they call it Cho. It's a Buddha Shakyamuni temple and a statue. So she will always ask to bring some blessing from that statue of Buddha Shakyamuni. And then every time he comes, back, and he will forget. And then she will ask, and they say, "Oh, sorry, I forgot." And then next time again, and he forgot all the time. So at the end, she was so desperate that she said, "If you don't bring, any blessing, I will kill myself. I will commit suicide. I will kill myself." And then, one day when he was coming back, and then he again forgot, to bring the blessing. So, but then he remembered on the way, almost, towards the home, he remembered, and he thought, "Oh, if I don't bring the blessing, then my mom, she will kill herself." And so then he didn't know what to do. So he saw this a dead dog's body. It was all rotten, and all the skin and the flesh were all already dried or eaten by others, and there was only like some bones left. So he just took a piece of bone from the tooth bone, and then he wrapped it in the silk cloth, broke it, and and then he gave to his mom, saying, "This is a very very, very precious relic from the Jo's temple." And then she thought that was really a real relic, and she kept it on the altar, and then she prayed, and she made offerings, and she made prostrations. So it's very. Then very long times later, the son and mom got into a fight, and so they were like saying bad things to each other, calling each other stupid answers. And then he said, "You stupid mom, I gave you this dog's tooth, and you thought it was a relic, you stupid." And then she realized that, oh, maybe this is not, but when she kept it, she did it with a very strong faith and belief, that this was the relic. And then when she opened, and there was this this tooth, there was like a image, of Avalokiteshvara, on the tooth. So that's like because of the strong faith, strong like single-pointed faith, she had, thinking that this is the real relic. And then it, like even the relic is born, from the tooth, of a dog. So if you have a strong faith.
제가 아니 사절에 절로요나 대 제게 가로 대배가 알롱되면나 절로도 중요히 말으시라요 가지고 대배 알롱 거지.
And so so yeah, so if you have a strong faith, then you can produce a relic from dog's teeth also. So anyway, also it's very important to have a faith in the Buddha for you to be guided or liberated by Buddha. So it says if you don't have, it says that Buddha has the compassion. It says like the hook of compassion. But if you don't have the ring, of the faith, then the ring, to get hooked, you need to have the ring that you can have it. Then he can hook and then pull up. So if you don't have that ring, of a faith, and even Buddha have the compassion, the hook of compassion, who will not be able to hook you, to hook you up, to liberation or enlightenment.
오케이, 제가 다 된가 마보 쇼죠. 가다 아니 자도 담지 남주. 아니 드라마트 쫓아와이나 아니 야포요레 쇼나 니 자식 자와지. 마저나 아니 뒤튼트데. 대면하다 드라마하데 쫓는 되게.
Anyway, I've been talking too much now. So, like I said, great benefit if you can recite any version of that, either 21 praises to Tara or the 5-line short Tara prayers, or at least the 10-syllable Tara mantra.
Okay. Yes.
Geshe, is it more beneficial for us to recite the praises in English or in Tibetan?
근데 지나도 변한 인지 야할 근데 인지 지나도 이 도는 정도 고거로 됐을 텐다.
Maybe for you, English is better because you can understand the meaning.
좋아. 아니 야 당가도 야 깨래 버리 지납 차가지다 양 점점 뺏겨 놓고.
But in order to leave an imprint in the language, then you can also recite in Tibetan sometimes.
그래서 대랍 조사를 변한 간도 다 지제 가나 제주 망치 표현을 잡아야 다 야 벽에 된다 전업 전부 자기로 단다 군두고 송도 변에 남배게 반에 추차상 용어지 배에다 맞아 문두 송도 제다 다 벽에 대한 전업 전부 차대로.
So because it came from Tibetan, right? So from the Tibetan into English, it was translated. So that's the original language was Tibetan, and that carries the blessing in that language itself. And and so therefore, if you recite sometime, in that, then that creates imprint in your mind to learn or to understand that language also. And like His Holiness mentioned, that it's the only Tibetan language that has the entire teachings of the Buddha available. And it's not in every language, but only in Tibetan language now at this time. At the current time, only in Tibetan language, there's like complete teachings available.
저 대차도 변한 조명하러서나 다이 가움도 somebody 변한 특대서 다리 특대 변한 샘나 내와체나 특 다리 등가 저 곰차로 그래서 곰차 샘 심바 이거 말했어. 만족한 다리 들들 좀 가 특대 샘 그냥 약이 막 콜로도 서와도 특라서 샘 떼고도.
And so also when you're reciting the mantra itself, your Tare, so you recite Om, you think you are reciting Om, and then recite Tare, you think that you are reciting Tare, and then to Tare. So actually, at the beginning, when you're first learning, then you have to think, right? Of course, if you can't think, then you won't be able to read it. Of course, you have to think, and then you have to see or perceive, and then read, and then say it, right? But once you get used to it, then you can say so everything. Every time you do so very easy to get distracted, and then it will be not very strong. And there will be not much not very strong blessing. So in order to have a strong blessing, it's good to do with the concentration. like it's called single-pointed faith concentration. And single-pointed, faith means like with the faith and single-pointed concentration.
근데 저도 맨날 많은 교화이나 드라마 교환들 저런 게 뇌한테 세미하고 때나 쌈도 심바 연구 말했어. 남정아도 제들 세미하고 메타와 간중질 내고도.
So if you are thinking about the word that you're reciting, the word you are saying, then you will not be thinking about so much things. And because you don't pay attention to the word you are saying, and therefore your mind gets distracted to other things.
제가 받는 것도 공부라고 자잖아. 즉 세컨지도 간주만지는 샤랑도 대형한테 그 쌤도 일하고 때 도움이 따로.
So like when we're doing a meditation, all these things come up in our mind. That's because we are not able to focus on the object.
그래서 남주 아니 전에 때 재원에 대가를 저한테 설명하고 때도나 쌤들 충만으로 팽겨서 그때 곰장으로.
So if you can focus on the object of your meditation, then your mind will not be distracted.
오케이. 당어도 좀 마사지 쪽이다.
Okay, now we're going to recite Tara prayers a couple of times.
Okay. Do you want text? Okay. Who can recite? Yeah, Bob.
All my prostrate to the noble transcendent liberator. Homage Taurus heroic, eyes like lightning instantaneous, from opening statements of the Lord of Three Words to above modus. Homage he whose face combines 100 autumn moons at fullest, blazing with that razor resplendent as 1,000 star collection. Homage golden blue one lotus, waterborne in hand adorned, giving ever calm austerities, patience, meditation, her sphere. Homage crown adorned with crescent, no adorned. Actions triumph without limit, relight on my conqueror's children, having reached every perfection. Homage filling with tutore, whom desire direction and space, trampling with her feet the 7 worlds, able to draw forth all beings. Homage worshipped by the all Lord, Chakra Agni Brahma Marat, honored by the host of spirits, co-chasers Gandhavas Yakshas. Homage with her tread and paid sounds, destroying foes' magic diagrams, her feet pressing left or right in, blazing in a raging fire blaze. Homage to Ray, very dreadful, destroyer of Mara's champion, she with frowning lotus visage, who was slayer of all enemies. Homage at the heart her fingers, adorn her with Riju Mudra, like her masses all excited, all directions will adorn her. Homage she so joyous, radiant, crown emitting garlands of light, mirthful laughing with tutore, subjugating Mara's devas. Homage she able to summon, not of guardians assembly, shaking, frowning with their home sign, saving from every misfortune. Homage crowned adorned with crescent, moon all ornaments most shining, Amitabha in her hair knot, sending a much light eternal. Homage she mid breathe ablaze like eon ending fire abiding, righteous love and joy surround you, troops of enemies destroying. Homage she who strikes the ground with her power, with her foot beats it, scowling with the letter hung. The 7 levels she does conquer. Homage, happy, virtuous, peaceful. She whose fields is peace nirvana. She endowed with omen soha, destroyer of the great evil. Homage she with joy surrounded, tearing foes' bodies asunder, freeze with hunger and knowledge mantra, arrangement of the 10 letters. Homage to Ray with seed ladder, of the shape of syllable home, by hook stamping shakes the 3 worlds, Mera, Mandara, and Vindhya. Homage holding in her hand the dear Makmuna Deva lake form, which was twice spoken Tara and Pei, totally dispelling poison. Homage she whom gods and their kings and the Kinnaras do honor, armored in all joyful splendor, she dispels by dreams and conflicts. Homage she whose two eyes bright with radiance of sun and full moon, with Twisara and Tutare, she dispels every contagion. Homage full of liberating, powered by the sight of three natures, these sources of spirits, yakshas, and race sculptures supreme ture. These praise with the root mantras and prostrations, thus are 21.
대수들은 누가 이게 상사님아 다와집이 신이 발라 오르스마 하라니지 또 다라 슈도트부 림네스테마스 제자 지도로만 도와나 슈도트부 림네스야데 나 또이고네 독서로부터 림네스 차대요로.
So in that the verse on that page, the first verse on that page, right on the top, so the homage she whose two eyes bright, with the radiance of sun and full moon, with the twice Hara and Totare, she dispels severe contagions, like contagions like the pandemic. So if you pray to Tara, and all these sicknesses and diseases, pandemics would be gone, would be dispelled.
Okay. Okay, go back to two more times. We can do 3 times.
I prostrate to the noble transcendent liberator. Homage Tara swift heroic, eyes like lightning instantaneous, from home opening statements of the Lord of three words to one lotus. Homage she whose face combines 100 autumn moons at fullest, blazing with light rays resplendent, as a 1,000-star collection. Homage golden blue one lotus, waterborn and hand adorning, giving and for calm austerities, patience, meditation, her sphere. Homage crown of Tathagatas, actions triumph without limit, relight on my conqueror's children, having reached every perfection. Homage falling with Tutare, whom desire direction and space, trampling with their feet the 7 worlds, able to draw forth all beings. Homage worshipped by the All-Lord, Chakra, Agni, Brahma, Mara, honored by the souls of spirits, corpses as Gandharvas, Yakshas. Homage with their trident paid sounds, destroying foes' magic diagrams, her feet pressing left and right in, blazing in a raging fire blaze. Homage to Ray, very dreadful, destroyer of Mara's champion, she with frowning lotus visage, who was slayer of all enemies. Homage at the heart her fingers, adorn her with Riju Mudra, like her masses all excited, all directions will adorn her. Homage she so joyous, radiant, crown emitting garlands of light, mirthful laughing with Tutare, subjugating Mara's devas. Homage she able to summon all the guardians assembly, shaking, frowning with their home sign, saving from every misfortune. Homage crown adorned with crescent, Muna Waran is shining, Amitabha in her hair knot, sending up much light eternal. Homage Shivan wreath ablaze like eon ending fire abiding, restless lepentros surround you, troops of enemies destroying. Homage he who strikes the ground with her palm and with her foot beats it, scowling with the letter Hun. The 7th level she does conquer. Homage, happy, virtuous, peaceful. She who's filled is peace nirvana. She endowed with omen soha, destroyer of the great evil. Homage, she with joy surrounded, tearing filled bodies asunder. Phrased with tongue and knowledge mantra. Arrangement of the 10 letters. Homage to a ABC letter of the shape of syllable. Back to stamping 6 of 3 worlds. Meru, Mandara, and Vinya. Homage holding in her hand the Demak Muna Deva lake form, which was spoken Tara and they, totally dispelling poison. Homage she whom gods and their kings and the Kinnaras do honor, armored in a joyful splendor, she dispels by music conflicts. Homage she whose 2 eyes bright with radiance of sun and full moon, with Tasara and Tutare, she dispels of her contagion. Homage full of liberating, powered by the sight of 3 natures, these of spirits, yakshas, and sculptures supreme ture. These praises with the root mantras and prostrations, thus are 21.
Okay, now last Tibetan, okay? Je ma poma drama la shan lu shan drama nyama ba mo shane ke je lo dang ram jite sam gun che che sha je ke sa she ba la na sham Shanta Tonga Dawa Kondo, Kongwa Jana Sobe Sharam, Kama Tonja Sopanam, Je, Rabda Shebe Horam Baram, Shanta Sungu Chene Je, Peme Shana Nabra Jam, Jimba Tunje Kato Shaba, Zaba Sande Shayanyam, Shanta Teje Shabe Tu, Taye Nabra Javara Sham, Male Pare Jimba Tope, Jabe Seje Shanda Te. Shansu Toda Raho Ye Ke Toda Shoda Nam Kakam Jide Dambo Jabje Nende Liba Mebrango Brandi Shansu Jesha Mela Zamba Lola Natso Chunjo Jumbo Rola Traza Nam Da Naje Toje Nete Shansu Chaji Shada Peji Paran Jungo Rabdunjo Ye Jang Yung Kumshe Ye Jang Yung Kumshe Jene De Membran Tuma Chandamba Shansa Tere Jiba Chembo De Jiba Namranjo Chishe Chan Chonye De Jawa Tamcha Malesar Shansa Kumcho Samsa Shaji Samo Toka Namraji Mali Chajin Kolo Jembe Aranga Vache Tonojo Shansa Rabdo Gava Jebe Vijebe Jen Trava Be Jabarabjo Todara Ye Dadan Jedan Wandanze Shanta Sajo Jongwe no Tamchen Guba Nimanya Tonya Yeve Yeke Hongo Pomba Tamja Number Shanta Deve Tabo Jamba Tamja Shanda Baram Rave Tona Pamele Tabra Shanda Orunza Shanta Kavin Tamame Bave Trava Wanane Ye go kone go ge dai pona na branjo shangsa sa jeng la sha ke tu jen nam ja cha je dong chonye jem de ye ke hong go ren ba dang bo nam de ge shangsa de ma ge ma she ma nyeng en de ye she nya som da ya da de me de ba chen bo ja ba nya shangsa kone ko ro ga we de we le no rab de ge Ike chewe ngano ko pe riba hole domanya Shansa tere shamna da pe honga na ve sewe nya Rima da radam pu shi jite samna yo anya Shansa la yun tsuwe na me rada ta che chana na Tara ni je pe che ye ke tuna ma le pa na se Shansa la ye tunu ja bo la da mom che te Kunne kocha gavra che che sudama ngamba se chanta nyama dawa je be shenye bala oro se harani jo todara ye shanda taburan se chanta tenyo samna go pe she tadaya da de dondaro la no je to nam jamba tere ram chonye se nga je to banda da chanta wan nye je za okay, now go to the benefit. Remember, go back last couple pages.
Yep, 245. 245. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. This is a short one, the condensed one. You can also memorize that one. This means for the ontari to the retroso, you see. Jonathan Pamalamo Drumala Chandolosh. Chanzo Druma, Tere Pamum is a name. To the in Juku Sermon is the meaning. Tere Tonum Tamjo Termam is also you get go all the benefits. So you get your rub to us. Okay?
So the prayer for the benefits.
Yeah.
Whoever is endowed with devotion for the goddess and recites this with supreme faith, remembering it at dawn upon waking and in the evenings, will be granted all fearlessness, will perfectly pacify all negativities, and will eliminate all unfortunate migrations. The multitudes of conquerors will quickly grant initiation. Thus endowed with this greatness, one will eventually reach the state of a Buddha. If affected by the most terrible poison, whether ingested, drunk, or from a living being, just by remembering will one be thoroughly cleansed. If this prayer is recited 2, 3, or 7 times, it will pacify all the sufferings of torments caused by spirits, fevers, and poisons, and by other beings as well. If you wish for a child, you will get a child. If you wish for wealth, you will receive wealth. All your wishes will be fulfilled and all obstacles pacified.
Okay. Now go to dedication. Okay, anyway, like you guys understand, right? Cheza, and try to read on a Tara place whenever you have time, okay? Then I go to the next place. You can finish the benefits. Then yeah, recite the Tara, long 21. If you don't know that, you can also the short one. If you don't know that, Tari to Tari so okay? It's just very strong faith. Then recite. Then I'm sure you get all the benefits. Okay, just strong faith. If it doesn't work, whatever you wishes, then don't be upset. Oh, what that doesn't work. It's not like that. Okay, you take the medicine. I say medicine. We say medicines for the recover our sins. But if you take medicine, it's not means you not die. Okay. Okay. Thank you. You guys finish the dedication prayers. Then I'm going to another place. Okay.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Okay.
Thank you,
you.
Geshe-la. Thank you, Geshe-la.